Quite a red day we've got. Hey there, Tommy from FibonacciTraders.com, your daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. So let's see what the market has brought us in the past trading day. SPY went down 1.4% to the downside. Now we have this gap over here. And we know that more than 85% of all gaps will get filled. Now, the 555 needs to hold. We are only back 3 days. We are back to the same prices we saw last Friday. So no fear, ladies and gentlemen, no panic. Just hold your breath and stay focused on the overall trend. The overall trend for now on the SPY is still bullish. Yes, we got ourselves 3 out of 4 time frames bearish. It doesn't mean we need to go short. It doesn't mean we need to go and sell all our portfolio. It just means that something is happening and we need to look at the broader picture and stay focused. 555 needs to hold. Then we will retest the lower border of this uptrend channel. As long as we are above the red line, SPY is holding an uptrend. RSP, the equal weight ETF for this S&P 500, went down 0.4%. Not before it made new all-time highs intraday. Now the 169 is the support, and then back to the 168. That was a very tough resistance. Need to get retested the support before the next leg up. QQQ 3% to the downside. QQQ went down below the yellow zone, now the 480 area. Let's take the Fibonacci indicator to the downside. 473 is the next support. We broke this massive uptrend channel, but overall, look at this. One candle, and it doesn't matter how big, how scary it looks. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. We are still bullish on the long run. 473 is the line in the sand, below 473, and we can say that this trend is ended. Dow Jones, look at this, the Dow is green, 0.55% to the upside. New all-time highs on the Dow. Now the 406 is the support, long continuation, and we will meet 420 and 429. IWM, 1% to the downside, needs to go and retest this red trend line. This red trend line helps us identify the higher highs. It was resistance for the higher highs. Now needs to get retested as support. Let's see. 220 needs to hold the support. Otherwise, we have this gap over here at the 218 area. Below this one, we have another gap over here, and we have another gap over here. Too many gaps on the IWM and the Russell 2000. Let's see where it might head next. 235 is the next major resistance area. Bitcoin, for the time that I'm recording this video, 1% to the upside, but in the past 3 trading days, basically some kind of a cool off. We had nice run, now cooling off. 63,400 is the support. Below it, back retesting the upper border of the yellow zone, the 61,200, long continuation, and we will see 69 and 74 to the upside. Ethereum, same thing. For the time that I'm recording this video, 1.3% to the upside. Past 3 trading days. For now, sideways move, consolidation, equilibrium. 33.50 now is holding a support. Look left, trade right. 33.50 was a very important area of support during June until the beginning of July. Now needs to hold the support once again. Otherwise, back sliding down on this red line. XLF, ladies and gentlemen, 0.76 to the upside. Not all red. The XLF, the financial ETF. Look at this bull run in the past 5 trading days, breaking above an uptrend line. There is nothing more bullish than breaking above an uptrend line. Now, where it can go next, all we need to do is take the Fibonacci trend lines and look at this. We are almost at the upper border of this uptrend channel. some kind of a cool off back to the 43.20 area. Might be very, very healthy before the next leg up. Now you can also put the FTI, and as we can see, 43, and then next leg up, 44.80 and 46. XLU basically closed the day on the 0.06 inside the yellow zone. 3 consecutive days inside the yellow zone. Needs to hold the 69.17. Long continuation only above 79. And of course, everything that you see in here on my channel is for educational purposes only. Never follow blindly anyone on social media, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers, followers, likes they have. You don't know them, they don't know you. Follow your strategy, and if you don't have a strategy, perfectly fine. You can find a strategy, a strict set of rules in the Fibonacci Traders Crash Course. Check the links in the description below. Fibonacci Traders Crash Course. It's the same course, almost the same course as the Mentorship. I took 8 hours of Mentorship program and compressed it into a crash course. All my knowledge that I have gained in the past 7.5 years, how I read candlesticks, how I find A+ setups, how I manage risk, how I use Fibonacci, how I use trend lines, long, short, swing, day trading, all this and more you can find in the Fibonacci Traders Crash Course. So check the links in the description below. Choose your path to financial freedom with me, professional trader in the past 7.5 years. I will do all my best to help you do one thing through trading. Make money. This is what we are here for. XHB with an inside candle. Now the 111 that was a very important area of resistance now need to get retested as a support. Below it we will go and close the gap at the 107. Long continuation, and we will meet the upper border of this boarding formation at the 120. XLE, the energy sector ETF, continues its way to the upside. Close the gap as we said in the past few days. XLE is going towards this gap. Now it got filled. Now the 92 area needs to hold the support. Long continuation, and we will meet 95, and also 98 is on this road north. Magnificent 7 ETF, the MAGS, not surprising, 3.3% to the downside, but, and it's a big but, look at this, holding, you know these trend lines, we drew them way back, and where price ended up the day? At the lower border of the yellow zone, at the lower border of this uptrend channel, the red line. All you need to do is put the FTI in your chart, learn Fibonacci, learn trend lines, and you will know with up to 85% accuracy where price might be heading next. Now all this area needs to hold the support, otherwise we will go back retesting the 43.80 as support. SOXX, what a day, 7% to the downside, broke massively this uptrend channel, but one candle, and it doesn't matter how big, how scary this candle looks, does not change the overall sentiment. Look at this, even the FTI is not scared on the long run, still bullish on the weekly. Always zoom out, breathe, don't let each and every candle to ruin your day, to ruin your portfolio, to play with your emotions. One candle does not change the overall sentiment, but 242 area is a very, very important area of support for the SOXX. It was a very massive area of resistance. Support during end of June, now getting retested once again as support. Will it hold? No one knows. All we need to do is manage our risk. Below the 241, we will go and meet the 226, and we have a gap over here at the 224. And you know what's my opinion on gaps. KRE, another day, nothing's happening with the KRE. It's going to the upside, 1.2% to the upside. 54.60 now is the support. Below it, going retest the 52.70 area. It was a very important area of resistance, the upper border of the yellow zone, long continuation, and we will go retest the upper border of this broadening formation at the 59.61 area. What else do we have? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget, we are going live 2 times a day, 8:29 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have also the live halftime show, 11:59, just before lunch. We are heading halftime show, live Q&A, chart request, and everything that you want to ask live. I will do my best to give you my best answer. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, bring friends, bring family. It's always fine. Apple 2.5% to the downside, still holding this uptrend channel, still holding above the upper border of the yellow zone, the 225 area. This area now needs to hold the support. Otherwise, breaking below this uptrend channel, we will see the 218.40 to the downside. Microsoft 1.3% to the downside. We have been talking about Microsoft, that Microsoft already in the past few days not looking good, and here we are. Broke to the downside, broke below the 445 area. That was a very important area of support. Closed the day with a doji, and we have this gap. We might close this gap maybe by the end of this week. Only 2 trading days for this week. Continuation to the downside, and we will close this gap over here. Yes, we have a small gap over here. Gap is a gap. NVIDIA, the perfect example of why we need to control and manage one thing only: risk management. Even if you had a very nice gains on NVIDIA, and we had pretty nice gains on NVIDIA, not even since the beginning of 2024, I'm talking only in the past 3 months. Now, with no risk management, with no risk control, we just gave back 17% to the downside, and we still have this gap that needs to get filled. And look at this, we have a double top scenario on NVIDIA. Lower highs, now we are at the neckline, breaking below this neckline, and we will go 110, and this gap also, it's on its way. Always protect the downside. This is your only job. As traders, we need to protect our downside. Nothing more, nothing less. The upside always take care of itself. What we need to take care is the downside. Amazon 2.6% to the downside, hanging by the thread on this uptrend line, but Amazon not looking good. 185 now is the support, below it 181 and 176. Tesla 3.14% to the downside, but look at this, zoom out. What do you see on Tesla? Since beginning of July, Tesla basically moving sideways. No clear trend. 235 is the support, 271 is the resistance, and with all due this 3.14% to the downside, we are back to Friday's prices. Netflix 1.3% to the downside. Thursday, after the closing bell, earnings on Netflix. Careful, protect the downside. You don't know how the market will react to Netflix earnings, and it doesn't matter what we think about those earnings, if the numbers are good or not. Look at the previous earnings. Numbers were pretty good. Netflix went down 10%. Anything can happen. If you hold your position through earnings, you are a gambler. You are not a trader. 640 now is the support. Below it, 623 and 603. AMD, what just happened? 10% to the downside. AMD just crashed in one day. 10%. I don't remember last time it happened to AMD. Not long ago. 3 months ago, 8% to the downside. One candle, look at this. We are still hanging above this yellow trend line. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. We are still bullish on the weekly. You just need to know what is the time frame that you are trading. the long term, the mid-term, short-term, day trading, you need to know. Continuation to the downside, 153 and back below the 150 to the 145. Google 1.6% to the downside, breaking this uptrend channel, holding the lower border of the yellow zone. Now let's see, can Google get back inside this uptrend channel and continue its way to the upside, or continuation to the downside, 178, 174, and Google have earnings July 23rd. Meta 5.7% to the downside. We have been talking about Meta. It's not looking good since last Friday, breaking this uptrend channel, and this channel is not relevant anymore. That's it. We are done with this uptrend. Now the 461 area, look left, trade right. 461 area, very, very important area of support. Support, now needs to hold the support. Below it, where Meta might be heading next, no need to guess. Put the FTI on your chart, one click away, and it will give you the next area of support. 437 and 40, we have this gap. Below 436, the chances of this gap at the 400 to get filled are getting higher and higher. Put the FTI on your chart, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to do is join the Fibonacci Traders Gold membership, and you will gain access to all the Discord channels for day trading, for swing trading, for crypto trading, for options, for futures, everything under one roof. And you will get access to this amazing tool, the FTI, one click away, and it will give you everything that you need for future price action. Look at Shopify. If yesterday, Tuesday, we had a very nice break up and above this massive downtrend line, what did we say? What are we always saying? One candle does not change the overall sentiment, and here we are back below this below this yellow line. Now back to the 63. Below the 63, we have here a multi-top scenario. Below the 63, we will see the same price action we saw over here, but to the downside, back to the 57 area. MicroStrategy 4.5% to the downside, overall holding nice above the yellow zone, but stuck below the 1675. 1675, look left, very tough area of resistance. Needs to hold now above the 1494, the upper border of the yellow zone. Otherwise, this gap at the 1490, 1438 will get filled. SMCI 7% to the downside, overall back, retesting this uptrend line, but the FTI also gave us bearish on all time frames. Why? What does it matter? Why we are bearish on the weekly if we are still holding this trend line? Because the FTI recognized that we had here multi-days resistance. We broke below the yellow zone. Now continuation to the downside, 773 and 708 to the downside, 8%. Broadcom, AVGO, we have a gap now to the upside. Looks like now AVGO is going back to fill the gap at the 150. Eli Lilly went down 3.8% to the downside. Eli Lilly broke this uptrend line. This line is irrelevant. We broke this uptrend line, this line that went all the way back to May. 2 months of an uptrend just got broken to the downside. We are holding strong above the 906. Barely, not strong, but barely holding. Below it, 892 and 870. And now, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, the top 5 gainers in the past trading day. VFC 13.6% to the upside, broke a massive area of resistance, the upper border of the yellow zone, the 15 area, all the way to the 1640. Now, long continuation, we will see 1740 and 1870. FMC, 4.6% to the upside, also broke above the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation toward the 65 and 68. All you need to do is zoom out and look for opportunities. The market gives us opportunities days in, days out. Don't stay attached to the same old names. Once you see names as a group going down, leave them alone. There are many other stocks. I go through 900 names each and every weekend, and every day I go around 200 names to look for that next opportunity. The market always gives us opportunity. Look at HSIC, Henry Shane, 5.4% to the upside, broke this downtrend line. Now let's see continuation. 69.50 needs to hold as support. Long continuation 72.50 and 75. VTRS. Look at this massive uptrend. Nice uptrend since beginning of July. 18% to the upside. Now this 12 area, very tough resistance. Long continuation, and we will see 12.45 and 13.15 to the upside. Vidya. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you find it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. Choose your path to financial freedom through trading with me. Until the next video, stay safe.